we experience the world on 5 levels, which is touch, ears, hearing, fragrance, right? What did I forget?
Taste.
And taste, right?
Mhm.
So eyes, touch, eyes, or sight,
Yeah.
and taste
Yeah.
are the most physical ones. Then hearing is about a bit more spiritual,
Right.
and fragrance or smell is the most spiritual one. This is why in Hebrew the word spirit and smell is basically the same word. So what which teaches us basically comes to teach us that you can experience the world on a spiritual level or you can experience the world on a physiological physical level. And the more you're going to learn to relate to relationship on a spiritual level, then the physical aspect of the relationship will flourish too. But once you experience a relationship only from a physical level, the first word they say, even, or like the first sight that we see, or like whatever it is, right? Then, then probably your relationship is not gonna strive, right? If you want your relationship to, if you want to even find anyone for your life, you have to learn to experience more from the place of spirit, from the place of giving a person a chance to express who they are on the inside. Hopefully, they have something on the inside. If they don't have anything on the inside, if they're like an empty, if they think that the whole world exists on, how much money they accumulate and what they spend it on, then, there isn't much to them. But if I understand that the world is a much more spiritual place, and that or whatever, for people who are already in the spiritual world, you can't work with people who think that the whole world is just a physical world. It will drain you out. It will drain all your energies.
But that has to be a mirror. That has to be a consciousness. Like
Yes, of
someone has
course.
to be aware of where their predilection is, where like that they're reacting a certain way, and to stop and look beyond it.
Right, right,
To try to see past it.
right. But at least maybe somebody won't do it with you, but you have the power to do it with them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you will choose much more wisely when you will start experiencing the person from a spiritual aspect,
Yeah.
and then it will open much more doors to you, and you will attract a bigger variety into your life, but you will also be able to choose from that variety what is right for you and what is wrong. Everybody will appreciate you experiencing their reality from a spiritual point of view, giving them a chance. Everybody's either ashamed of how they look, they feel old or fat or thin or whatever, right? And and if you don't look on those things first, but what you look at is like their eyes, their soul, right? And you give that a chance, everybody will want to be your friend, right? But then the question is, who from those people is good enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then you choose from that. But first, you experience the world from that place.
Great dating tip. But yeah, it was interesting is that like the dating world is becoming like how fast and how many people can you be set up with through some kind of like a quickie, uh, 5 minutes to talk to each person.
2 seconds. Think about the Tinder world. You scroll
Yeah.
and you don't even give yourself a second to think about them. Long hair, short hair, big nose, small nose, right? Like, did you look into their eyes? Into their eyes, not the color of their eyes, into their eyes,
I understand that.
right?
And then you have the added problem of is this something like is this being altered through AI? All right, are they really
That's a
on
whole
the
different
on the
subject.
yacht in the sea?
Right. That's a whole
They,
different subject.
so
If
you
it's
really
in,
have to
right,
meet a person,
right, right.
and look
It
into
all
their
takes us,
eyes.
and
Yeah.
right, and that's another big thing that happened in our generation. That people used to just pick up each other in a place,
Yes.
right, in a coffee place or whatever, you know. And now it doesn't happen
Library,
anymore.
supermarket.
Right.
No,
Right.
it doesn't.
So the virtual world had brought a bigger variety into our lives.
Right.
But the fact that it brought a bigger variety, it also brought a bigger level of loneliness, a higher level of loneliness.
Definitely.
So we need to re-ask ourselves. And the fact that people got so sick of Tinder, you know, I hope that we'll go back to the world where people actually notice each other, go to parties, go to social gatherings, whatever it is, even in university, wherever you are, you know, in the synagogue, in the church, in the wherever, you know, people should just start talking to each other, not being embarrassed, and not even like extracting that energy of like, are we gonna date each other? What happened to just like, let's be friends, and then we'll see if it will go take us to dating.
Well, you know, we're not in the same kind of small neighborhood community type things where you're constantly going together, running into each other over and over again, you know.
Well, people who go to, I feel some, you know, like here in Israel, for example, people go to synagogue,
Yeah.
people go to dancing, you know, like what we call communal dancing, like once or twice a week. So, you know, in other places too, I guess, you know, like whatever, young people go to bars,
Yes.
etc. So it still happens, you know, but what I see with the young people a lot is that people see and right away categorize if you're a dating potential or a friend potential, right? And what happened to, like, you know, maybe I'm not right away physically attracted to someone, but as time goes by, I'm emotionally attracted to them. And because I get emotionally attracted to them, all of a sudden the physiological attraction, that's the way it should go. But in a Tinder world, it's like, are you good enough tonight to go to bed with tonight? It's like we go against the
the
natural flow of how we were designed. Yes.
I know. Like I met a guy in the pharmacy. Went to the pharmacy. Right. There was a nice guy there, and I could tell through his conversation that he wasn't married. You know, like, hey, we should have a cup of coffee. You know, we had a nice conversation. We should have a cup of coffee. Take it another step. No. No. People are afraid to do that.
Right.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's a very good point. People are afraid to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We are jaded.
Right.
You know, so I figured, well, I guess it wasn't attracted to me. It's either that or two, that maybe he's dating somebody. I don't know. But he was very friendly. So,
Right.
so it's confusing, but I think that the trick is to try to remain open. Just open. You know, whatever comes down the pipe, just try to remain open.
Right.
And take it for what it is. Live in the moment and take it for what it is. Doesn't work out, okay. Have a nice day. Go your way, I go my way. And eventually, when God decides it's supposed to happen, it will happen.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.